Hello, children. How are you? Hope you are all fine with good health and strength. So far, we have completed 3 lessons in science. I think you all are making use of videos and worksheets to acquire knowledge. Science and everyday life cannot and should not be separated. Science helps us to understand about our body internally and the world around us also. I am sure you're all curious to acquire knowledge on today's topic. Let's move on to Lesson 4, Heat, Part 1. You know, we get heat from natural and artificial sources. You can see the picture of a sun and a candle that emits light. Heat from the sun warms the earth. We are able to live in planet Earth because it is at the right distance from the sun. We already know that the seeds germinate when it gets the right amount of warmth. Even people usually do not settle in very hot or cold places. We have also seen people in cool, hilly places sitting near the fire to get heat. We feel hot in summer than in winters. Moreover, we all know that heat is produced when things burn. We need heat to cook our food. The water to get heated, we use a heater or a heating rod. We all know that it is a form of energy. Now, just think from morning in our day-to-day life, whether we are using this heat energy. Yes, iron box. Yes, we use the heat energy to press our clothes. Water heater. Yes, when we need a warm water, we heat the water using heater, and we use heat energy from our LPG cylinders to the stove to cook our food. And in microwave oven, we bake and use things, edible things, we heat it, isn't it? So think of some other uses of heat energy in our day-to-day life processes. Today, we are going to learn about temperature. In the next video, we shall learn about heat and transfer of heat. At the end of this video, you will learn what is temperature, measurement of temperature, Fahrenheit scale, Celsius scale, and different types of thermometers. When we watch the daily news, we hear the weather report. We hear people telling maximum and minimum temperature of the day. If a person is not well, the doctor tries to find the temperature, isn't it? We set the temperature in the electronic goods according to the utility. We have heard people telling the temperature in degrees Celsius and Fahrenheit. We use thermometers at home. To know more about these things, let's go into the lesson. What is temperature? We have three pictures here. We see here that in a AC, the temperature is set at 22 degrees Celsius. And here in the microwave oven, the food is heated for the set time, how long the temperature had to be given. That can be set, isn't it? Similarly, in a fridge, we have a temperature control. So this is the minimum and this is the maximum. So during summer, we can have it towards the maximum. During winter, we can reduce it, isn't it? So we set temperature in electronic devices like air conditioners, fridge, etc. Temperature is a measurement of how hot or cold something is. To define temperature, it is nothing but the quantity that tells us how hot or cold something is compared to something else. It is expressed by a number on a scale, just like how we measure distance in meters or centimeters using a scale. Similarly, temperature is measured by a device called thermometer. Measuring temperature, hot or cold. Here, a child is holding a ice cube in his hand. How will he feel? Yes, he'll feel cold, right? And here, an elder person is checking a child whether she's running temperature. How do you feel when you have an ice cube in your hands? Imagine we are standing in our terrace in the middle of the day, right at 12 noon. How do we feel? In our day-to-day life, we come across number of situations. Ice cream is cold, tea is hot. We know that some objects are hotter than others, while some are colder than others. Often we feel with our skin. Many times we use our hands to feel the heat. When you want to have a hot water bath, we carefully check the hotness of the water. When the geyser is on and the water gets filled in your bucket, you check it very carefully, isn't it? Many times when we feel dull or sick, our parents touch our forehead to find whether we are running temperature. But that doesn't help. We cannot rely on our sense of touch to decide whether an object is hot or cold. Sometimes, many times, it may deceive us. Imagine in a factory or laboratory how to find temperature of chemicals or hot oil. A reliable measure of the hotness of an object is its temperature. Temperature is measured by a device called thermometer. Temperature is usually measured in Fahrenheit F or Celsius C units. Fahrenheit scale. Gabriel Fahrenheit. This temperature scale is named after Gabriel Fahrenheit, who proposed it in 1724. He set the freezing point of water as 32 degrees and boiling point of water at 212 degrees. So, what do we know about Fahrenheit scale? It was proposed by Gabriel Fahrenheit and the freezing point is 32 degrees and boiling point 212 degrees. Celsius scale. Around 1743, Andreas Celsius invented the Celsius scale. He determined the freezing temperature of water to be 0 degree and the boiling temperature at 100 degrees. So, Celsius scale was invented by Andreas Celsius. The freezing point is 0 degree and the boiling point is 100 degree. Now, how to convert Celsius temperature to Fahrenheit temperature? Most of us have this doubt. When in news, sometimes in foreign countries, if they say the temperature in Fahrenheit, we get confused how to calculate or convert it to Celsius. It's so easy. Just 2 steps. First one, multiply the Celsius temperature by 1.8 and add 32 to get the temperature in Fahrenheit. So here is an example. Take 32 degrees Celsius. We need to convert it to Fahrenheit. Step 1, 1.8 into 30, you get 54. Answer, second one, you add it with 32. So we get 36 degree Fahrenheit. Did you understand, children? Now next, how to convert Fahrenheit temperature to Celsius temperature. Here also, this is also very simple, just 2 steps. Subtract 32 from the Fahrenheit temperature and then divide by 1.8 to get the temperature in Celsius. Example, now we take 50 degree Fahrenheit and we'll try to convert it to Celsius. Step 1, you need to subtract 32 from 50. So we get 18. Step 2, 18 divided by 1.8, which gives 10 degrees Celsius. Now, did you understand the conversion? Let's move on to the next topic. Clinical thermometer. Clinical thermometer means measuring body temperature. Mercury in glass type. You can see this is a clinical thermometer in Celsius scale. This is clinical thermometer in Fahrenheit scale. As I told you before, the freezing point for Celsius scale is 0 degrees Celsius. For Fahrenheit, it is 32 degree Fahrenheit. Same way, Here the boiling point is 100 degrees Celsius. In Fahrenheit it is 112 degree Fahrenheit. And this is how a clinical thermometer looks. When you have fever, you may have used a clinical thermometer to measure your body temperature. The commonly used clinical thermometer is made up of a narrow tube capillary of thick glass. At the end of the capillary tube is a thin bulb filled with mercury. Mercury is a metal in liquid form at room temperature. As glass is a poor conductor of heat, the wall of the bulb is kept thin so that transfer of heat between the mercury and its surrounding can take place easily. Can you see a thick glass? And there is a capillary tube in between. And you can see that there is the mercury level here. It ends here. Yes. And there is a small kink. And this end, thin glass tube, it is with mercury. The scale in a clinical thermometer extends over a few degrees on either side of the normal body temperature, 37 degrees Celsius. It can measure temperature from 35 to 42 degrees Celsius. The clinical thermometer is marked to indicate a small change of 0.2 degrees Celsius. Being a metal, mercury is a good conductor of heat. When it is in contact, when this part is in contact with the body, it quickly gains heat and expands. You can see it will rise up here. As a result, the mercury moves upwards in the capillary tube. If you observe a clinical thermometer, you will find a constriction in the capillary tube just above the bulb. Small kink will be there. This prevents the mercury from moving down once it has risen due to increase in temperature. So after you check the temperature, you need to note down the temperature, isn't it? That will take little time. So it should not fall immediately. So there is a small kink provided there. To lower the level of mercury, the thermometer has to be given a firm jerk. So next time you want to use the thermometer, it has to come to the normal level, isn't it? So you'll have to give a firm jerk. The normal body temperature is marked at 37 degrees Celsius on a clinical thermometer. But is the body temperature of every healthy person exactly 37 degrees Celsius? Now you can do an activity. Use a clinical thermometer. I am sure you will all have one at home. Measure the body temperature of people at your home. Record their name, age and the temperature. Then find out whether all of them have the same exact body temperature or does it vary. Find the average temperature. How do you find the average temperature? Total body temperature of five people or whatever number. For example, if you take 5, total body temperature of 5 people divided by 5. So that will give you the average body temperature. Clear? Can you do this activity? So after learning about the clinical thermometer, you need to know certain life skills to use the thermometer. Before using, before you do the activity, under the parent's guidance, kindly wipe the thermometer with an antiseptic solution using a cotton, isn't it? That you have to make sure. Next, give it a firm jerk to lower the mercury level below 35 degrees Celsius. Place the thermometer below the tongue for 2 minutes in case of a child. Place it in the armpit or not in the mouth. Read the thermometer by holding it horizontally in a straight line of sight. Okay, it has to be straight. Otherwise, there will be parallax error. Understand? We feel warm when the room temperature goes above the body temperature and feel cold when the temperature goes below the body temperature. Understand? So, we try to do this activity and find out what is the average temperature. Now, we are going to watch a video on how to use a clinical thermometer, and whatever we have learned, we are going to see a video and understand it better. Now, let's watch a video.
Clinical thermometer. In this module, you will learn about a clinical thermometer. Your forehead feels warm. You immediately suspect a fever. To be sure, however, you need to measure your exact body temperature. How would you do that? Well, with the help of a clinical thermometer, also called a doctor's thermometer. A clinical thermometer is usually made of glass and consists of a mercury-filled bulb inside at one of its ends and a fine capillary tube that looks like a thread running from the bulb to its other end. There is a small constriction in the neck close to the bulb. A clinical thermometer can measure temperature ranging from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius or 95 degrees Fahrenheit to 108 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a pretty small range. You can get the temperature by reading the scale inscribed on the side of the thermometer. Let us now see how a clinical thermometer works. A clinical thermometer is usually placed inside the mouth for measuring body temperature. Because of the body heat, the mercury inside the bulb heats up, expands, and rises to a certain level in the capillary tube through the constriction. The new level to which the mercury rises indicates the exact body temperature. You may be wondering if the reading changes on removing the thermometer from the mouth. Well, it does not. The constriction prevents the mercury from flowing back into the bulb. You can also say that the mercury column breaks at the constriction and is unable to return to the bulb, thus remaining stationary in the tube. To reset the thermometer, you need to swing it sharply many times so as to make the mercury column return to the bulb. Why do you think mercury is used in a clinical thermometer? Mercury is used in a clinical thermometer as well as other thermometers for a number of reasons. First, mercury is a metal and thus it is a good conductor of heat. It starts to expand instantly on placing the thermometer inside the mouth. The expansion can be seen as a rising thread of mercury. Second, mercury remains a liquid at temperatures ranging from -39 degrees Celsius to 357 degrees Celsius. Hence, it can serve to measure a wide range of temperatures. At last, mercury does not stick to glass. Though using mercury in thermometers has advantages, mercury-based thermometers are considered risky. This is because mercury is poisonous. In case the bulb or the neck of a thermometer breaks, mercury can leak out into the mouth. This is why mercury-based clinical thermometers have largely been replaced nowadays with electronic digital thermometers or scanner thermometers. In this module you've learnt a clinical thermometer is a thermometer used for measuring body temperature. It is usually made of glass and consists of a mercury-filled bulb at one of its ends and a fine tube running from the bulb to the other end. The neck near the bulb has a small constriction. A clinical thermometer can measure a very small range of temperature ranging from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius or 95 degrees Fahrenheit to 108 degrees Fahrenheit. When a clinical thermometer is placed inside the mouth, the body heat causes the mercury in the bulb to heat up, expand and rise up the capillary tube through the constriction up to a certain level. The new mercury level indicates the exact body temperature. Mercury is used in thermometers because it is a good conductor of heat and expands uniformly. It can be used to measure a wide range of temperatures and it does not stick to the glass. Mercury-based clinical thermometers have largely been replaced nowadays with electronic digital thermometers or scanner thermometers.
Digital thermometer. So what is the reading on this digital thermometer? 98.6 degrees Celsius. Nowadays, digital thermometers are used to measure body temperature. They work on tiny dry cells. Dry cells means batteries. Okay. A good quality digital thermometer records body temperature more accurately than the ordinary mercury in glass type thermometer. However, it is a safer device because it does not contain mercury, which is a toxic substance. Did you understand, children? So you have a digital thermometer both in Celsius as well as Fahrenheit scale. Let's move on to the next one. Now, laboratory thermometer. As the name tells, it is used in lab, isn't it? Laboratories, in chemistry lab, even in physics lab. A laboratory thermometer is made up of a glass tube. It has a glass tube with mercury, which on gaining heat rises in the glass capillary of the tube. Here in this case, alcohol is used. There are two fixed points that show the lowest and highest temperature that can be measured on the thermometer. The ordinary laboratory thermometer is marked from 0 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius. Some laboratory thermometers are marked to measure between minus 10 degrees Celsius and 110 degrees Celsius. Because in lab and all, you need to measure different things, isn't it? Chemicals and all, which can be lesser than 0 degrees Celsius also. Now, reading a laboratory thermometer. A laboratory thermometer does not have a constriction kink, as I told you, for the clinical thermometer. It has to be read while it is in contact with the material whose temperature is being measured. So when the temperature, thermometer is in contact, same time we can just note the reading. So there is a special stand for which you can see, we can see that, observe that in the laboratory. For example, to record the temperature of warm water, the temperature has to be read while the thermometer is immersed in the warm water. You cannot just lift and see. But in the case of a clinical thermometer, we can do so. So did you understand, children? So now we are going to watch a video on different types of thermometers. This is just for extra information. You are going to see what are the different types of thermometer and what are all the ways it is used in our day-to-day life situations. Now let's watch a video on different types of thermometers.
A thermometer is a device that measures temperature or a temperature gradient. A thermometer has two important elements. One, a temperature sensor, in which some change occurs in a change in temperature, and two, some means of converting this change into a numerical value. The visible scale that is marked on a mercury in glass thermometer or the digital readout on an infrared model. Thermometers are widely used in technology and industry to monitor processes, in meteorology, in medicine, and in scientific research. There are many different types of thermometer available in today's market. Before you make your purchase, it is vital that you are made aware of the range of products available to you. You should also understand and consider each type of thermometer's suitability for various different users. So, today we will tell you all the different types of thermometer and their uses. You can find different methods of thermometer classification. We decided to go with the principle of operation as a defining characteristics. Therefore, there are 6 kinds of thermometer based on how they work. Here we will discuss one by one. First of all, liquid in glass thermometer. This type is the oldest and the most common kind of thermometer. It is used almost everywhere, and its principle of operation is very simple. This thermometer consists of a glass bulb and steam filled with a working liquid and an inert gas. When the temperature changes, the liquid expands or shrinks. When paired with a temperature scale, it is possible to use this occurrence to determine the temperature. Manometric thermometer. This type is also known as a pressure-filled or vapor pressure thermometer. It determines the temperature based on the change of pressure in gas or liquid. Manometric thermometer can be filled with gas such as nitrogen, condensation such as alcohol, chloromethane, diethyl, or mercury. Gas thermometer. A gas thermometer determines the temperature based on the difference in pressure or volume of gas it is filled with. There are constant pressure and constant volume gas thermometers. The latter is more commonly used. Gas thermometer can be filled with any gas, but the most popular option is hydrogen. This type works best with very low temperature. Bimetallic thermometer. This is a mechanic thermometer that works with a bimetal strip. Bimetal means that it is made of two metals. The strip is sensitive to the change in temperature and it causes mechanical displacement, which is used to determine the temperature. These thermometers are perfect for higher temperatures as they become less sensitive and accurate at lower temperatures. They can be found in many household appliances like stoves, infrared thermometers. An infrared thermometer is a thermometer which infers temperature from a portion of the thermal radiation, sometimes called black body radiation emitted by the object being measured. They are sometimes called laser thermometers as a laser is used to help aim the thermometer, or non-contact thermometers or temperature guns to describe the device's ability to measure temperature from a distance. By knowing the amount of infrared energy emitted by the object and its emissivity, the object's temperature can often be determined within a certain range of its actual temperature. Infrared temperatures are a subject of devices known as thermal radiation thermometers. Digital thermometer. Digital or electronic thermometers are one of the most recent developments in the thermometer field. Instead of using liquids or gases paired with a temperature scale, they have a digital screen, which can show you the readings in a mere seconds. A digital thermometer has a thermistor that reacts to the change in temperature and projects the result on the thermometer screen. Clinical thermometer. A medical thermometer, also called clinical thermometer, is used for measuring human or animal body temperature. There are three most common clinical thermometers used in hospitals and homes. Mercury field thermometers. One of the oldest types. Mercury field thermometers are slowly disappearing from most countries. In addition to not being the most accurate, they might be very dangerous if broken. The mercury inside is toxic to people and the environment. Alcohol field thermometers. A safer alternative to the previous type. These thermometers use color alcohol that expands when exposed to increased temperature. However, both of these liquid filled thermometers require some time to show the temperature. If you want immediate results, consider one of the following options. Digital thermometers. Digital thermometers are quickly replacing all of the old liquid in glass versions. They are fast, accurate, and convenient. With the help of oral, rectal, and armpit digital thermometers, you can get your results in mere moments. Dear sir, thanks for watching the video. For more update, please subscribe to our channel Learning Engineering, and to get notification, please press the bell icon.
So, we have seen the video lesson for part 1 of heat lesson. You have seen about the different types of thermometers and you know what is temperature now. The next video lesson you will see about heat and transfer of heat. So till now I think you are clear with the different types of thermometers and temperature. Thank you children.